dear Jistyers, and welcome back to my channel today. After about 10 months of waiting, we finally got Doctor Who, and today I'm going to be reviewing the first episode of 2018, The Woman That Fell to Earth. Now, I think that first I need to start about like a generalization about this episode. Now, as I've just seen it, I haven't really collected my full thoughts on things like plot holes and stuff like that, whether it was actually a seamless story. I'm really just talking about whether I thought it was good or whether I thought it was bad. And I have made some points that I'm going to talk about, but it's going to be quite generalized, and detail wise I'm not going to go into it. I'm also going to remind you that this week I'm doing my why not why Doctor Who worked. I'm doing my what we know so far video for Doctor Who and episode 2, which I'll say is the one I'm looking forward to the most. So first I'll talk about Jodie, as she's definitely the most important thing about this episode. I think she was perfect, actually. I think that, well, perfect in my view. In other people's views it could be different, but I thought she was really good in this role. Like, she's a bit like David Tennant in the way that she kind of overacts everything to prove that she's an alien. But I think that if you stuck Peter Capaldi's Doctor in that scenario, I don't think it would have worked. I think that you had to be sort of over the top to really stand out amongst all those companions, and I think that she definitely did that. She did a really good performance compared that there's a lot resting on this, and I'm so glad that people, well, Will has actually liked it. Now, obviously I haven't seen any of the reviews or anything, so it could be pretty awful on her, but I think that people are really going to appreciate her in this series. Now, I think that she's definitely up there with Matt Smith and David Tennant. She's definitely not lower than them. I also want to talk about Ryan, who's actually one of my other favourite sort of characters. I think that his struggles are going to be something that I'm really going to relate to and really like. I think that everything that he does in a episode, like this episode, almost revolved around him. I think that as we go on, we should have episodes in which Yaz gets more involved and we understand a little bit more about her and how she works. But I think that Ryan's storyline in this episode is really good, and it's really made you sort of relate to the character and understand his struggles and his life. If they can do this for every character, we've definitely got a very strong TARDIS team on our hands this year. I also want to talk about the look. Now, the look in previous years have been pretty weird. I actually watched Twice Upon a Time this morning in preparation for this episode, and I thought Twice Upon a Time is not a good episode. Really, it isn't. But I thought that the aesthetics weren't very good. Like, everything looked a bit cheap. And with this, it seems like things were done on low budget, but maybe they were done better and they were done to a higher standard, and it feels like there was a lot more work put into them, into building things and making things for this series, that I really appreciated. I did sort of have this moment, well, actually I'll get to it later in fact, but I'll ignore it for now. Yeah, but the lighting was really good. I love the way that the warehouse thing looked as well. The monsters looked, the faces on the teeth on the face was really good as well. You could see, you know, bits of teeth that maybe were put in like earlier, and then you've got ones that were clearly put in a long time ago. And I think that showing this makes it more creepy, because then it could have happened in the past and it's been happening for a long time. Now, I think that this episode definitely appeals to like kids more than previous episodes have. I think that the younger Doctor and the younger cast will appeal to them. I think it's still funny and it's still, well, humorous anyway. But it, you know, it's Doctor Who. It's not exactly it's not a comedic show. But I think that kids and younger people that are younger than me, you know, maybe 10 or 11, they are really going to appreciate this series. I think they really appreciate this episode as well. Not on a sort of standpoint in which David Tennant, but for me, when I look on David Tennant's episode, he had some really awful episodes, but now he has some really good ones as well. And I think Jodie Whittaker's time on here might be the same. I think there's going to be people that really love some of her episodes, and people that don't. And I think that people will get behind her and get behind this series with it. So the effects have improved. I'll talk again, but about the teeth on the face, they're still pretty decent, and I think it still looks great. I love the way that they don't reveal it, and I'm glad that they didn't reveal it in the trailers neither, because if you revealed it in the trailers, then when he actually takes his mask off, you don't know what's behind that, and it makes it a lot more scary. And the idea that he takes off the mask and you see what's behind, I was going, I bet it's going to be something really disgusting, and then it was. And if I saw the trailer, I may already know what that thing was, and I think that's a lot better. Um, so you really have to appreciate that, and I really have to appreciate the effects that went into that guy's face as well, and that the suit as well. When that suit was standing there, I was like, "Yep, I think this show is back," and this show is back. In fact, I'm getting loads of messages right now saying things like Doctor Who is good again, and oh my god, did you see it? It's amazing, because I think I've really missed this. I think that people in previous years have just watched Doctor Who and then gone, it's alright, or it was awful, and then that's been it, and that's it. See, my watch is going off. I'm getting messages through my phone. It's distracting me. I really need to turn that off. But I think that we have a very good, strong start to this series. I think that if they can keep it maybe on this level, or even better, because maybe once it's found its feet a little bit more. There was this like one moment in which there was this sort of jump cut, and I don't know what happened, but 1 minute we were there, and there was, and 1 minute how did we get onto the roof? We're on the roof now, and how did they know how to stop it? And what they were doing is, but that's really just a minor thing, but it's one of those things that is going to bug me from now on every time I watch it. That's just like a really small thing, though. I think everything else was done well, unless somebody cleverer than me could find like a plot hole or anything. I think the story was well knitted together. I've really could sit here talking for hours about this episode, because I would basically just repeat the same stuff over and over again. Maybe once I've watched it a few more times, I might not be as interested in this episode, but I'm definitely excited. It was a strong start. Episode 2, again, looks like it's going to be promising some great stuff, and it's the episode I'm most looking forward to. So, I'm excited, and I think that a lot of Whovians and a lot of just regular audiences will be as well. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been the AJ Studios. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like. I hope you like the way that I'm doing it live. It may take a few weeks, well, a week, for me to really understand how this works and how videos come out throughout the week. I'm also doing an Instagram account, and that should be a link down below later on once this came out live. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been the AJ Studios, which I've already covered. But, goodbye.